all the funds will be used to fight and to win. So our next speaker today is a family man, a constitutional attorney, and the next Attorney General of Minnesota, Doug Wardlow.
Hi everybody, Doug Wardlow running for Attorney General. So great to be here with you today. I am here today standing with you, and we are here standing together because we love our great state of Minnesota. And because we love our great country. And more than that, most importantly, because we love that principle, that great idea that makes America exceptional and sets our country apart from all others, and that idea is freedom. We all know that freedom is under attack today. It is in dire jeopardy. And the time to fight back, the time for action is right now. And that is why I'm running for Attorney General, because I will not stand idly by and watch as our constitutional rights are trampled by our government and our state descends into chaos. No, I will fight back, and you will fight back. We are going to win this office, and we are going to restore law and order and freedom in the state of Minnesota. Now, in order to secure the blessings of freedom for ourselves and for future generations, we first need law and order. We have a problem in this state with lawlessness. We have the most radical Attorney General in the country, Keith Ellison, at the helm. And he has done nothing to stop the skyrocketing violent crime that is plaguing and terrorizing our communities.
Traitor!
He did nothing and stood back and watched as our cities burned. But I have good news. In about 1 year, we will have an election. And we will retire Keith Ellison from politics in Minnesota. And I can tell you this. When I am Attorney General, we're going to do things a bit differently than Keith Ellison has been doing them. Number one, we will restore law and order, and we will support law enforcement. We are going to hire prosecutors. We're going to send them out to make sure that county attorneys are doing their jobs and to make sure that we're putting criminals behind bars. That's how we're going to restore law and order in our state. We got to stop the cycle of arrest and release. Make sure that when the police arrest somebody, they get prosecuted aggressively and there's a conviction, so they don't see the same people out on the streets just days or weeks later trying to commit crimes. We will end the cycle of arrest and release.
Law and order!
We will restore law and order.
Yeah!
And the Attorney General, the office of the Attorney General isn't political. It's a partisan office insofar as you have a Republican or a Democrat in the seat, but it's an office that shouldn't be political at all. It's just about enforcing the law and standing up for your constitutional rights. And I tell you this, when I'm Attorney General, I will stand up for, defend, and protect all of your constitutional rights, regardless of race or creed or background. I will be there to defend your freedoms. Once we've restored law and order, we're also going to look at protecting those constitutional rights and the most important ones. I'm a constitutional lawyer. I spent a number of years working with a group called Alliance Defending Freedom, standing up for and protecting the right to free speech and freedom of religion. And I'll continue protecting your constitutional rights as your Attorney General. You can count on me to do it because I've spent my entire career doing it. And when it comes to vaccine mandates, when you're talking about the federal government and President Biden and his overreach, now he hasn't even promulgated the federal vaccine mandate for employers that he's promised. It's not even there. There's nothing to even sue him over. It's a very cynical ploy. But if the federal government ever were to do that, and I'm Attorney General, we will push back, we will fight back, and we will stand up for your freedoms, because no one except for you and your doctor should have any say in the decision about what substances to put into your body or whether to take vaccines. So I will be there to stand up for and protect and fight for your medical freedom.
Terrorism!
But there are a number of other issues I'll be there to fight for you on as well, and that includes critical race theory. Who here is concerned about critical race theory? Critical race theory is an inimical and terrible doctrine that teaches children to judge people based on the color of their skin, turning Martin Luther King upside down. It teaches children to hate their own country. It teaches children exactly the opposite of what they should be taught. In other words, that people should be judged by the content of their character and not by their race or anything else. But you know this? Critical race theory, when it creates a hostile environment in schools that discriminates based on race, that breaks the law. That violates state law against anti-discrimination. It violates federal law in the same way. So when I'm Attorney General, we will investigate school districts that are imposing critical race theory, and we will sue them, and we will end critical race theory in Minnesota. We're also going to go up against big tech and protect the marketplace of ideas and make sure that the marketplace of ideas is open for all, because I know that when it is open and when the left isn't putting their thumb on the scales and suppressing speech on one side, then we win because we have reason and logic and common sense on our side. We can talk about a whole plethora of other issues and important things. But let me just end on one other issue that's very important and critical to our freedoms, and that is election integrity. We need to have fair and secure elections in this state. And even if there was no fraud, no voter fraud, I think there is voter fraud, but even if there wasn't any, we would still want to design and have an election system where we could all be 100% confident that there is no fraud. Thomas Jefferson called the elective franchise the ark of safety that protects our constitutional order. He was absolutely right. We need election integrity, one, because we need to make sure that the person with the most votes wins, and that's obvious. But two, we need to make sure that people have confidence in the accuracy of election outcomes. Because if we don't have that, if people question elections, if people question the elective franchise, if they don't have that confidence, then they start questioning the law itself and the people in power and the legitimacy of those laws and whether they should follow the law at all. And that creates a breakdown of the entire social order. And that's why it's so important that we secure our elections and give everyone that confidence. So what does this have to do with the Office of Attorney General? Again, the AG's office is there to enforce the law and protect your constitutional rights. Well, there are constitutional rights related to the right to vote. And we have voter laws in Minnesota that make voter fraud a felony. So as your Attorney General, I will investigate and prosecute voter fraud. We will send the message that if you commit voter fraud in this state, you will go to jail. That's the only way we're going to have clean and secure and safe elections and make sure that everyone has confidence in election outcomes. So I'm very excited about this race. We are on the path to victory. We are going to win this thing. This race is about so much. It's about law and order. It's about standing up for your rights. But it's about even more than that. It's about whether we as Minnesotans and we as Americans will cede control of our great state in this country to those who want to undermine it and those who want to weaken it and even destroy it, or whether we will stand up for the Constitution and stand up for the rule of law and take our state and our country back. I know that we are going to make the right choice. I know that Minnesotans are rallying to the cause of freedom across this great state. And we will win. I know this for one other reason. Because we have truth on our side. And because we fight for faith and for freedom and for real justice, because we fight to lift people up and to let them become all that God means for them to be. So we can move forward, and let's move forward together filled with courage and faith and hope and even joy. And that's the thing that gets me out of bed in the morning, joy at the great opportunity that we have to do so much great good for our state and for our country. Let's all get involved. Go to your caucuses. Make sure you go to your Republican BPOU meetings. Run for delegate to the state convention and support my candidacy. Go to my website, DougWardlowAG.com. Sign up to volunteer. And we also need contributions. Do everything you can to get involved and engaged right now, because now is the time to fight. And we will seize the opportunity we have to do so much great good for our state and for our country, and we will win this thing. And by God's grace, together, we will prevail. We will make Minnesota safe again, and we will make Minnesota free again. Thank you all. God bless.
So we're going to sneak in